Also, is it okay to start building citations? Yes, for the HTTPS version. Once again, because that's what you're going to be switching to. So yes, absolutely. Go ahead and build on the HTTP or citations with the HTTPS version of the URL.
A word of warning to Shane, since you're switching over, and I don't know who's doing it for you, and I don't know how. When they say that they've done it, go check every version of the of the non HTTPS version of the website just to make sure that it was done correctly. Because sometimes they'll leave one version out and it won't redirect, and then everything that we just talked about, you won't get the benefit because, of course, it's not redirecting over to HTTPS. As long as it's redirected correctly, as long as everything has the correct 301s in place, whether it's HT access, whatever it is that you're using to redirect, as long as that's right, then everything will transfer over to the SSL.
Yeah. Yeah, and keep in mind whenever you do that switch, I don't know how to, like, I'm not a server nerd, guys, and I don't know CSS and all that stuff. And I know that whenever I've done switching from non-SSL over to SSL, I've had themes break, I've had, you know, style sheets or CSS or whatever break, and so the sites look all funky and all that kind of stuff. So typically what I do is if I'm switching an existing site now, if I'm you know, now when I build a new site, which is rare because I'm just building GMB websites now, but when I do build a WordPress site, I install WordPress and immediately switch everything to HTTPS, and then from that point I start building the site out. But for existing sites, what I've always done is just gone to Upwork and found somebody that you know, go to Upwork and look for SSL implementation or HTTPS or something like that, or WordPress support, CSS, anything. You can look for a number of different keywords or whatever, but find somebody that can go in and clean up any messes that are made from switching over from HTTP to HTTPS. Because again, unless you're familiar with all that stuff, I'm not. And I don't want to take the time to learn how to do it. So I always just go to Upwork and I usually find somebody that's overseas somewhere. And I usually just say, look, I'll pay you $50 to go through this WordPress site and get everything. And usually that's way more, like, and that's just because I just offer it. But I know that I've had in the past when I didn't have as much, you know, I didn't have as many resources, I would, you know, have people bid on it, and I would get people say, oh yeah, I'll do it for $20. You know, $20 to go through the site and clean up any messes from switching over. That's a no-brainer. I mean, again, it would take me hours to research that kind of stuff to figure out what needed to be done, where I could just pay somebody $20 or even $50 and it's done, and it's done well, and I don't have to worry about it. So Shane, that's what I would recommend, unless you know what you're doing.